there's a sound that we are all familiar with. Now, I just want to begin with these words. These are the lessons. There are some lessons we can learn from a mosquito. I know when you hear that sound, some of us get angry, some of us get frustrated, some of us really want to kill that bloodsucker called a mosquito. But there are some things that we can learn from the positive side about a mosquito. And here are the lessons. Now, before I start the lessons, Albert Einstein once said these words. He said, "A sheep is always safe at the shore, but that is not what it is built for." That is Albert Einstein quoting that. And we will see this quote during the lessons, the 3 lessons we're going to learn about a mosquito. Now, lesson number 1. According to a mosquito, we should learn not to let go. I'm sure we are familiar with that. That sound keeps coming back even after you hit it or you miss it, but the mosquito keeps coming back. Now, we need to learn to not let go and don't give up. We need to pull up our socks whenever we are attempting something and we are let down, we are being chased away, or we are discouraged by those close to us. Let us learn to continue coming back. And not only that, we need to learn to be consistent and persistent. And that, you can attest to it if you have ever tried to go to bed and there's a mosquito in the house. That mosquito is consistent and persistent. And even beyond that, it is patient because it is waiting for you to switch off that light. And when sleep almost comes close, then that mosquito keeps coming back. And lesson number 2, let us learn from a mosquito to venture into the unknown territories. We need to go into places that we are not known, because a mosquito is not scared to go to the palace, is not scared to go anywhere, whether in the forest, whether in your backyard or in your office. The mosquito will enter everywhere. So let us, like a mosquito, let us not be afraid to take risks, to take new and break new ground in order to learn new skills, new opportunities, and to also grow and advance as individuals. And that is lesson number 2 from a mosquito. And then there is lesson number 3 that is quite paramount, and I will dwell a bit more on this one. The lesson that we coexist on this planet, in this universe. We as human beings, we do not own the planet. We are part of the creation. We are part of the universe, because our behaviors and our attitudes, and as human beings, we tend to think the world belongs to us, and it does not. We are merely inhabitants, just like all the creatures on this planet, together with, you guess who? The mosquito. Now, the mosquito knows that lesson very well. It knows that it doesn't exist alone. There are people, there is grass, there is water. All these natural resources that cannot be bought with any price. The mosquito knows that very well. Now, what should we learn from there? We should learn to share those resources. Air, water, space, no matter how confined the space is, whether the mosquito is there or not, let us share that space with that creature that is just occupying the planet just like we do. Let's give it a little bit of, accommodation, because the mosquito coexists with us. And we need to go beyond that. When we are sharing, we should not share with contentment. We should not share with fights. We should not share, but we should share our resources that we found on this planet, by the way. We should learn to share all of that with kindness, with an attitude of helpfulness. And we should share that food that we are eating together. We should share time together. And not only all of that, but we should share attention to the next person, or to the next animal, plant, or even mosquito. Now, I want to conclude with these words. If you have learned these 3 lessons from a mosquito, have you learned from this? If you have, listen to Anita Roddick, who learned this lesson. If you think you are too small to have an impact on this earth, try going to bed with a mosquito. That is Anita Roddick. And with this quote, I want to summarize in this way. Regardless of size, regardless of time, we are all able to make an impact in this planet, on this earth, and in other people's lives. Let us go out there in 2024 and make an impact, regardless of how small we think we are ourselves. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster.